Okay, today we're making a comforting, super moist and tender blueberry coffee cake. This blueberry coffee cake is layered with juicy blueberries on the bottom, a soft lemon-kissed cake in the middle, and a crunchy cinnamon streusel on top. It's the perfect mix of bright, cozy, and comforting, perfect with a cup of coffee or tea. So to start off, you want to preheat your oven to 180 C or 350 F conventional, and generously grease an 8 by 8 inch square cake tin. I'm using my homemade cake release to grease my tin, and then you also want to line the bottom of the pan with some parchment paper. Now you just want to pop your cake tin aside for now, and next we're going to prepare the streusel topping. So to a medium-sized bowl, you want to add in 100 grams or half a cup of soft light brown sugar, 90 grams or 3/4 of a cup of plain all-purpose flour, and 1.5 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. Give that a good mix so that everything is well combined and there aren't any kind of, big lumps. And then to that, add in 63 grams or 4.5 tablespoons of melted unsalted butter. You then want to give that a good mix again until everything is well combined. You should have a crumble-like consistency now, which is what we want. And then you want to pop it into the fridge to solidify a bit while we work on the cake batter. So for the cake batter, we're going to start off by sifting our dry ingredients. So I've got 180 grams or 1.5 cups of plain all-purpose flour, 45 grams or 6 tablespoons of cornstarch, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then just give that a good mix with a whisk until it's well combined and set it aside for now. Next, in a large bowl, you want to add in 56 grams or 1/4 cup of room temperature unsalted butter, 53 grams or 1/4 cup of unflavored vegetable oil, I use canola oil, 150 grams or 3/4 of a cup of white granulated sugar, and 2 teaspoons of lemon zest. And then using a hand or stand mixer on a medium speed, cream that for 2 minutes until it's light and fluffy. Next, you want to add in 2 large room temperature eggs one at a time while mixing on a low speed, and you want to mix well in between each addition, so about 10 seconds in between each egg. Okay, once all the eggs are mixed in, then next you want to add in 2 teaspoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and 225 grams or 1 cup of room temperature buttermilk. And again, mix that in a low speed until it's well combined. The batter might look slightly curdled, but that's okay. Now you just want to get any of the batter off of the attachments because the rest of the mixing we're going to be doing by hand with a spatula. So next you want to add in your pre-sifted dry ingredients from earlier and fold that in with a spatula until just combined. You don't want to overmix, so only mix until you can't see any big lumps or streaks of unmixed flour, and your batter should also no longer be curdled. Now to finish off, you want to add in 240 grams or 1.5 cups of fresh blueberries and fold that in with a spatula until just combined. For this recipe, the blueberries will sink to the bottom and then there'll kind of be this blueberry layer at the bottom of the cake, but by folding in the blueberries into the batter, it just ensures that, everything kind of stays together and the blueberry layer isn't kind of soggy and falling apart from the rest of the cake. So that is our batter all done, and now before we pour this into our cake tin, you want to grab your streusel topping from the fridge, and it should have solidified a bit by now, and what you want to do is break it up a bit. I just use my hands to loosen it up and kind of break up any large lumps, and it should look crumbly like this when it's ready. So to put the cake together, you first want to pour all of the batter into the cake tin and spread it out evenly. Next, you want to evenly sprinkle the streusel mixture all over the top of the batter, and you want the streusel layer to cover the cake batter entirely, so try not to leave any gaps. So once that's all done, you just want to drop your cake tin very lightly on the counter to remove any large air bubbles, and now this is going to go into our preheated oven for 40 to 45 minutes, or until a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean or with a few moist crumbs on it. So my cake is all done now. It smells so incredible, and it has the most beautiful crunchy top to it. Now you just want to let the cake cool in the tin for about 20 minutes, and then you want to run a thin knife around the edges to release the cake from the cake tin, and then turn it out twice. So first you want to turn it out onto a wire rack, and then just remove the parchment paper, and then you want to turn it out again onto your serving plate so that it's upright. Today I'm just using my cake stand. And then you just want to let this cool to room temperature, and then it is ready to slice and serve. This blueberry coffee cake is the perfect no-fuss cake that goes perfectly with a cup of coffee, hence the name, or any hot drink for that matter. It's soft and moist, has a wonderful bright flavor from the lemon and blueberries, and that crunchy streusel topping just adds such a wonderful textural element to the cake. The crumb on this cake is so incredibly light. It has such, like a wonderful soft texture to it. And the flavors of this cake work together so well. So you've got those kind of juicy blueberries on the bottom, a beautiful lemony kind of cake in the middle, and then, that beautiful crunchy kind of cinnamon topping. It's so good. And the cake isn't overly sweet either. So it's like the perfect little pick-me-up, when you're feeling like a little treat. So that is it for today, guys. If you do decide to give this beautiful blueberry coffee cake a go, then please do leave a review on my blog. It really helps my content out, and I absolutely love hearing from you guys. I'll see you in the next video.